I'm delighted to have the opportunity to address so many representatives from such a variety of backgrounds, law enforcement, private sector, and other international organizations. I would like to start with a personal note, if you allowed me, because I'm very, very honored to be here today to speak in a joint event, Interpol-Europol. As an Italian author, Primo Levi wrote, "The future has an old heart." And I would add that memory is also very important in digital era. We are where we are today because of the challenges and successes of the past, and because of the vision of our predecessors. I have been working more than 13 years at Interpol as Director of Cabinet of Secretary General Mr. Noble, that you saw him yesterday. But before, I had worked almost 8 years at Europol in The Hague, and I was member of the joint team who prepared the first cooperation agreement between Europol and Interpol. This agreement was signed in The Hague in November 2001 by Mr. Jürgen Storbeck, that at that time was Europol director, and Mr. Noble, who is still our Secretary General, but he's leaving us in 1 month. 13 years have passed, and today we are here celebrating a joint conference, Interpol-Europol, on cybercrime, which was, back 2001, even not mentioned among the crime areas listed in the cooperation agreement. During this conference, we will hear about cybercrime issues from many perspectives, from law enforcers, forensic investigators, to prosecutors and lawyers. But this morning, I would like to talk to you about 2 important items: the contribution that the general public and the private sector can give, and the importance of improving the interaction between public and police in fighting and preventing cybercrime. Interpol Turn Back Crime campaign, you have seen many of my staff wearing the T-shirt, the hats, and you got a bag with some of our gadgets, has been launched last June in order to create a new synergy between general public, private sector, academies, governments, law enforcement agencies, in order to create awareness, generate engagement, encourage action. We cannot forget that the internet has become a major part of people's lives. Not only we are increasingly independent on the internet, but we are increasingly mobile in our use of it. With laptops, tablets, smartphones, even eyeglasses, we can now be connected anywhere, anytime. Just yesterday, I wished to buy the new iPhone 6, and it was already sold out in all shops, even here in Singapore. So while these technologies make our lives richer and more flexible, they also expose us to a greater number of risks. These risks can take place on a major scale, with cybercrime affecting the security of national infrastructures, the international economy, and the global banking industry. Our expert speakers, like the one who just preceded me, will no doubt speak more about these types of risk in the coming days and this afternoon. Cybercriminals, but I would like today, with my presentation, to focus on the types of risks affecting ordinary people in their day-to-day lives. Cybercriminals are always on the lookout for new opportunities and will shamelessly abuse of the goodwill and trust of Internet users. As Charles Darwin said, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage and adapt to changes. Criminals are survivors, and they do manage and adapt to changes fast and even faster than institutions. For example, as reported on the Kaspersky Lab blog, cybercriminals have been cashing in on the popular Ice Bucket Challenge. This online phenomenon sees people throwing a bucket of ice-cold water over themselves, making a donation to charity, then nominating their friends to do the same. I'm sure that all of you have seen this on YouTube, and maybe some of you has been nominated. While this raises the profile of the charities concerned and funds their good work, cybercriminals have also been making money from people's generosity. How? Through phishing techniques using fake donation portals that supposedly represent legitimate charities, but which are in fact designed to steal payment information. Another example, following the MH17 airline disaster in Ukraine, spammers created fake dedicated pages for the victims, with links leading not to tributes, but to pornography sites and other objectionable material. In another recent case, intimate and compromising photos of celebrities were hacked from the cloud. This story hit the news headlines as well-known personalities are involved, but unfortunately, countless ordinary people also find themselves victims of this kind of humiliation, and they are blackmailed into paying money or prevent their personal photo from being revealed online. So, we can see there are major risks to the average Internet users, to their financial security, and main of all, to their personal well-being. The Internet can therefore seem like a daunting and frightening place. So, what can we do to minimize these risks, to empower the citizen to protect themselves and to reassure them in day-to-day activities online? In practical terms, what we can ask to the public? The public can inform themselves and spread the advice via social media. They can change their behavior online to reduce risk. They can improve their security online. They can educate their children, and mainly their teenagers. They can report any suspicious behavior or criminal activity. How turn-back crime can facilitate this? Through our website, the Turn-Back Crime Campaign can provide web content, tips and advice in all 4 languages, links to hotlines and reporting mechanism currently in place in different countries. Very often I get the question, I just got a spam. There is an address where I can immediately send this spam so it can be investigated or at least can be in some way blocked. We can links to other sources for other reading. Social media updates to spread messages to a wide scale. We have videos and infographics to explain the issues clearly and simply. In addition, we have asked for support from partners and ambassadors because they can highlight and endorse the message and the messages, giving the content further credibility and a broader reach.
Ensemble, défendons le sport contre les infiltrations du crime organisé.
Together we can turn back crime.
Ensemble, on peut faire mieux et on peut faire plus.
Join us, join me. Together we can turn back crime.
Todos juntos podemos hacer algo para combatir el crimen organizado. Turn back crime.
وسويا نستطيع to turn back crime.
Together we can turn back crime. Together we can turn back crime.
Together we can turn back crime.
I'm Jackie Chan. In the movie, I always take down all the criminals. I always win. But in the real life, it's totally different. It is my honor to be invited being the ambassador of Interpol Turn Back Crime campaign. So, let's join me together. We can turn back crime. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We got all this ambassador and more to come for free, no one coin. So the Turn Back Crime offer also many advantages for law enforcement authorities and support the interaction between the public community and the police. This is a point I care a lot because I'm a police officer. And I do think, also listening to several presentations, even the last two, I listened from Mr. Nakatani and the Europol Director of Cybercrime yesterday, looking for muscles, looking for arrests. That's good, but it's not always the only communication we should publicize to the large public. That's for police. The arrests are for police. What we need to communicate to the public is how we can make their daily life safer and give to them a feeling of security and happiness and not of fear. That's why I really think the interaction between law enforcement, private sector and public has to improve, and the police mentality has to evolve in terms of communication. Since cybercrimes are so expensive, complex and time-consuming to investigate and prosecute, I wonder, shouldn't the police be focusing on prevention and alerting countries, businesses and citizens to new threats on how to protect them? I wonder, shouldn't the police on its side adopt the turn back crime breeding in their operations? And shouldn't the police adopt the turn back crime concept in their communications? Think about the Operation Strike Back that was mentioned yesterday, maybe is going to be presented as well today, that took place earlier this year. This Interpol coordinating operation targeted organized crime networks behind sex extortion, cases around the world. It was a law enforcement success, resulting in the arrest of 58 individuals. But the arrests are not enough. Turn back crime can add another dimension. Sex extortion rings operate on an organized and almost industrial scale from call center-style offices. They target vulnerable people, even our children, and blackmail them with sexual information or images. Cyber blackmail agents are provided with training and offer bonus incentives such as holidays, cash, or mobile phones for reaching their financial targets. The general public are not aware of these details, and this is where turnback crime can play a role. We can inform the public about the scale of extortion networks and raise awareness of the outrageous and calculated nature of the crime. Turnback crime can educate and prevent more people from falling into the same trap. It can limit the number of people falling prey to organized crime in whatever form. Turnback crime can help relieve the pressure on law enforcement resources around the world. Mr. Nakatani Noburo's team here at IGCI in Singapore is working with law enforcement around the world to review current national capacity to fight cybercrime and identify potential ways to improve efforts. Within the framework of this Interpol National Cyber Review Program, one cost-effective area is to encourage community outreach to empower the general public to protect themselves from common cyber threats. I urge the private sector to support Mr. Nakatani's program. With the strong visual image, turnback crime is a brand that the general public can relate to. With the weight of the Interpol's name behind it is a brand the public can trust. Through the channel, we can easily disseminate information and messages which are not directly related to pure policing. Turnback crime is factual, giving practical information and concrete advice, but can also itself be human, sensitive, and even emotive, values that are not normally associated with policing organizations. What are the results that turnback crime and law enforcement agencies can then deliver together? The combined effect of engaging the public, the private sector, and police will be to convince the public to change their behavior on their online interactions and better protect themselves. Will be to reduce the number of cybercrime incidents taking place. Will increase the volume of incidents reported to law enforcement authorities, allowing them to build up a better picture of trends. Will allow law enforcement agencies to reach new audiences and add weight to their work. Will build trust and cooperation between general public and police. Will help to counter a culture of fear, replacing fear with knowledge, and will encourage a culture of legality, creating feelings of empowerment and security. Many other organizations already provide information to the public on how to stay safe online. So you must wonder, what unique message can Interpol add to this? Interpol is the only police organization with a truly global perspective. We can highlight the way in which many types of organized crime are interlinked and transnational. Profits from an online scam or cybercrime incident could be used to fuel other types of crime, such as trafficking drug or human. Once members of the public understand this link between crime areas, they have a new and convincing incentive to take extra care in all their dealings online. At its core, turnback crime is a campaign also for police. It applies not only to cybercrime, but can be adapted to many different crime areas. For instance, trafficking illicit goods, we need to explain to people why they should not buy counterfeited items. Trafficking human beings, vehicle crimes, just to mention some. It can even be used to support, and we are working on this, support effort against high-profile and complex issues such as countering violent extremism. Many countries, such as France, UK, have created some hotlines in order to link the public to the police or to government to get as much information as possible about suspected foreign fighters. I would like to give you an easy example because, as I said, this is an emotional campaign, so I know that everyone likes football. And in the fight against match fixing, we have already got the support of Juventus. Next week, we will get the Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain. Today, we are here at Juventus headquarters. Juventus has offered to support the Interpol campaign Turn Back Crime. We work together in order to keep the beauty of football game.
At the Interpol General Secretariat, we are highly concerned about integrity in sport. That's why we set up the Interpol Global Match Fixing Task Force, and we are carrying out operations against illegal gambling, as Operation Soga concluded a few weeks ago in the Asia-Pacific region.
Join Interpol Turn Back Crime campaign. Play with me to defend the integrity in sport.
Vous aussi, pouvez jouer le rôle de défenseur. Ensemble, défendons le sport contre les infiltrations du crime organisé.
So I urge everyone in this room to engage with the campaign to make it your campaign. Please take the time to look at www.turnbackcrime.com and the related Twitter, Facebook and Instagram accounts and become one of us. Together with your ideas and with your support, we can turn back crime together. Thank you.